Have you ever experienced the discomfort that lingers in the air when someone who wronged you crosses your path? The way they avert their eyes, stumble over their words, or seem unable to hold your gaze. It's not just awkwardness. It's something deeper. It's the weight of shame that has settled upon them, an emotion far more powerful than we often realize. Shame doesn't simply arise from embarrassment or regret. It stems from an internal reckoning with one's own actions, especially when those actions have caused harm to others. In today's video, we're going to explore 7 profound reasons why those who mistreated you now carry the heavy burden of shame and why they can't seem to face you. As we journey through these reasons, you'll come to understand not only their behavior, but also your own growth and strength. This isn't just about them. It's about you and the power you've gained through your experiences. So let's dive deep into these psychological and emotional layers. 1. The awakening of their wrongdoing. A realization too late. At the heart of every shameful action lies the inevitable realization of having done something wrong. It's not always immediate, and sometimes it takes months, even years, for the full weight of their behavior to dawn on them. For those who wronged you, this realization is the first step in their journey toward shame. It's the moment when the veil of denial is lifted and they are forced to confront the reality of their actions. This isn't just about an apology or a brief acknowledgement of a mistake. This is a profound internal awakening. Imagine for a moment the person who spread rumors about you or the friend who betrayed your trust. Initially, they may have justified their actions, telling themselves that they were right or that you deserved it. But time has a way of unraveling those justifications. Over time, the layers of self-deception peel away, and they are left with nothing but the truth of their actions. The harsh reality hits them like a tidal wave. They hurt you, and there's no going back. This realization is not a comfortable moment. It's a moment of profound reckoning. They realize that they are no longer the person they thought they were. The image they held of themselves as a good person, a friend, or a trustworthy colleague crumbles. This shattering of self-perception is the first seed of shame. But this realization isn't just a flicker of awareness, it's a deep, unsettling shock. It's the kind of realization that leaves them awake at night, questioning their actions, their choices, and ultimately, their very character. And in this realization, they begin to see you not as the person they once mistreated, but as a symbol of their own failure. You become the embodiment of the person they let down. Not just you, but themselves. The discomfort you sense when they're near is the discomfort of a person grappling with the stark reality of who they've become. It's a confrontation with their own moral compass that they can no longer ignore. This realization doesn't just haunt them for a moment. It follows them, creating a ripple effect that touches every part of their life. 2. Fear of exposure, the shadow that follows them. Once they've realized their wrongdoing, a new fear takes hold, the fear of being exposed. This isn't just about their fear of facing you, it's about the anxiety that others will see them for who they really are. They begin to fear the social consequences, the judgment from those around them, and the potential loss of respect that could follow. This fear of exposure can be all-consuming. Think about the friend who betrayed you or the family member who belittled you. In social situations, they now navigate with caution, carefully avoiding any situation where their actions might come to light. If you're present, they may avoid gatherings altogether, fearing that others might notice the tension between you, or worse, ask questions. This fear is rooted in the understanding that once their wrongdoings are brought to light, they will be seen not just as a person who made a mistake, but as someone who acted out of malice, jealousy, or selfishness. Their carefully constructed image of themselves and the image they've projected to others is at risk of crumbling. Every glance in their direction feels like a potential accusation. Every conversation feels like it might turn into a revelation of their misdeeds. This fear doesn't only apply to their interactions with you, it extends to their entire social world. They fear the whispers behind their back, the sideways glances, and the inevitable social judgment. And the more you grow, the more you succeed, the greater their fear becomes. Your strength highlights their failure, and they know it's only a matter of time before others see it too. In many ways, their fear of exposure is more painful than the realization of their wrongdoing. It's one thing to acknowledge your own mistakes in private, but it's another to face the possibility of public scrutiny. This fear keeps them in a state of constant anxiety, always looking over their shoulder, always wondering who might be watching. It's a prison of their own making, and the key to their freedom lies in confronting their actions, something many are too terrified to do. 3. The deep loss of self-respect, a silent inner battle. As their fear of exposure grows, so too does their internal struggle. One of the most painful aspects of shame is the loss of self-respect. For those who mistreated you, this isn't just about losing your respect or the respect of others. It's about losing their own. Self-respect is a fragile thing, and once it's shattered, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. When they look in the mirror, they no longer see the person they thought they were. They see someone who acted out of weakness, out of fear, or out of selfishness. They see a person who hurt someone they cared about, or at the very least, someone they should have respected. And this realization cuts deep. The loss of self-respect is more than just a feeling of guilt. It's a fracture in their sense of identity. They can no longer take pride in the person they are because they know deep down that they've betrayed their own values. This loss of self-respect follows them in everything they do. It affects their confidence, their relationships, and their ability to move forward in life. For many, this loss of self-respect leads to a downward spiral. They may become more defensive, more withdrawn, or more self-critical. They might try to overcompensate by seeking validation from others, but no amount of external praise can fill the void left by their broken self-image. Every time they see you, they are reminded of the person they no longer are, and the shame deepens. But this loss of self-respect isn't just a personal struggle, it's a reminder of the power you hold. Your presence, your strength, and your resilience are constant reminders of their failures, and this makes it even harder for them to face you. You are a living testament to the consequences of their actions, and every interaction with you forces them to confront the reality of who they've become. 4. The burden of regret, wishing they could undo the past. Regret is a powerful emotion, and for those who mistreated you, it's a constant companion. As they come to terms with their actions, they begin to realize just how much they've lost. They start to wish they could turn back time, to undo the harm they caused, to make different choices. But regret, by its very nature, is about things that cannot be undone. Picture the family member who hurt you or the friend who let you down. They replay their actions in their mind, imagining different outcomes. What if they had been kinder? What if they had chosen to support you instead of tearing you down? What if they had acted with integrity? These questions haunt them, and the weight of their regret becomes heavier with each passing day. Regret isn't just about wishing things were different. It's about realizing that the opportunity to make things right has passed. They can't go back and change their actions. They can't undo the hurt they caused. And every time they see you, they are reminded of the opportunities they squandered. But regret is more than just a passive emotion. It's an active burden that affects their present and future. It influences the way they interact with others, the way they approach relationships, and even the way they see themselves. Regret can lead to a cycle of self-sabotage, where they continue to make poor choices because they feel unworthy of redemption. It's a heavy burden to carry, and it's one that they must bear alone. For you, their regret is a powerful reminder of your own strength. You survived their mistreatment. You grew in spite of it, and now you are thriving. Their regret doesn't define you, but it does serve as a testament to the power of your resilience. They regret what they did because you've shown them what they could never take from you: your spirit, your strength, and your ability to rise above. 5. The collapse of their false narrative, exposing their true motives. When people mistreat you, they often create false narratives to justify their behavior. They might tell themselves that they were acting in your best interest or that you deserved what happened. These justifications allow them to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. But as time passes, those false narratives begin to crumble. For those who wronged you, this is a painful process. They must confront the reality that their actions weren't justified, that they weren't acting out of righteousness or fairness. They were acting out of fear, jealousy, or insecurity. And once those motives are exposed, the weight of shame becomes even heavier. Imagine the colleague who undermined you at work, telling themselves they were simply being competitive, or the friend who spread rumors, convincing themselves that they were protecting others from you. These false narratives provided them with a sense of moral superiority, a way to avoid feeling guilty about their actions. But now, as your strength shines through, those narratives no longer hold up. This collapse of their false narrative is a humbling experience. They must confront the fact that they were not the hero of the story, but the antagonist. Their motives, once hidden behind layers of self-deception, are now laid bare for all to see. And in this exposure, they are forced to face the truth of who they are and what they've done. For you, this moment of exposure is empowering. You've always known the truth, but now, so do they. Your presence, your resilience, and your success have brought their true motives to light. And in that light, they can no longer hide behind excuses or justifications. They must face the consequences of their actions, and in doing so, they are confronted with the full weight of their shame. 6. The shattering of self-image, a crisis of identity. Every time they see you, they are reminded of this shattered self-image. You are a living testament to the person they failed to be. And that reminder is too painful for them to face. It's easier for them to avoid you, to avoid confronting the truth of who they've become, rather than deal with the internal turmoil of realizing that their actions do not align with the values they claim to hold dear. When someone's self-image is shattered, it doesn't just affect their relationship with you, it affects their relationship with themselves and with the world. They may have once believed that they were kind, trustworthy, or compassionate, but their mistreatment of you forces them to re-evaluate those traits. Are they truly kind if they were capable of such cruelty? Can they be trustworthy if they broke your trust without a second thought? These are the questions they must grapple with, and the answers are not easy to face. For many, this shattering of self-image leads to a period of existential crisis. They may begin to question their entire identity. If they are not the person they thought they were, who are they? This crisis of identity can lead to feelings of depression, anxiety, and profound regret. They are forced to confront the uncomfortable truth that they are capable of causing harm, and this realization shakes the foundation of their character. Some may attempt to rebuild their self-image by seeking redemption. They might try to make amends, apologize, or find ways to demonstrate that they have changed. But for many, the shame and guilt are too overwhelming. Rather than confront their mistakes, they retreat into avoidance, denial, or self-pity. They may distance themselves from you and from anyone who reminds them of their failure, hoping that time will erase their guilt. But deep down, they know that the damage has been done, and their shattered self-image remains a constant source of pain. This crisis of identity is a powerful reminder that our actions define who we are. No matter how we perceive ourselves, it is our behavior that ultimately shapes our character. For those who have mistreated you, the realization that their actions do not align with their self-image is a painful but necessary step in their journey toward accountability and growth. For you, this shattering of their self-image is not your responsibility to fix. You are not here to repair the damage they caused to themselves or to their own sense of identity. Your role is to continue living in alignment with your own values, to continue growing and thriving despite their mistreatment. Their internal struggle is their own burden to carry, and their inability to face you is a reflection of their unresolved guilt and shame. 7. The realization of missed opportunities. The pain of what could have been, perhaps the most bittersweet of all the reasons they can't face you, is the realization of missed opportunities. In mistreating you, they not only caused you harm, but they also deprived themselves of the opportunity to build a meaningful and positive relationship with you. As they watch you grow, succeed, and move forward in life, they are confronted with the painful truth that they could have been a part of your journey, but they chose a different path. Think of the friend who betrayed your trust, or the family member who belittled your dreams. At one point, they had the chance to support you, to stand by your side, to share in your triumphs and challenges. But instead, they chose to tear you down, to undermine your efforts, or to act out of jealousy and fear. And now, as they see the person you've become, they are haunted by the realization of what they've lost. This realization of missed opportunities is a profound source of shame. It's not just about the harm they caused you, it's about the life they could have shared with you if they had made different choices. They see the connection they could have had, the trust they could have built, and the joy they could have experienced by being part of your journey. But those opportunities are gone, and they are left with the painful awareness that they cannot go back and change their actions. This sense of loss is compounded by the fact that your life has moved forward without them. You have continued to grow, to achieve, and to find success despite their mistreatment. And every milestone you reach serves as a reminder of the opportunities they missed. Your success is not just a testament to your resilience. It's a reflection of the path they chose not to take. And that realization cuts deep. For many, the realization of missed opportunities leads to feelings of deep regret and sadness. They may long to go back and make things right, but they know that the damage has already been done. The trust they broke cannot easily be rebuilt, and the relationship they once had with you may never be the same. This sense of loss is a heavy burden to carry, and it's one of the reasons they struggle to face you. But for you, the realization of their missed opportunities is a reminder of your own strength. You have thrived despite their actions, and you have built a life that reflects your values, your integrity, and your resilience. Their inability to face you is a testament to the power you hold, the power to rise above their mistreatment, and to continue on your path of growth and success. A journey of empowerment and strength. As we come to the end of this journey, it's important to remember that the shame they carry is not yours to bear. Their inability to face you is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their own internal struggle. The discomfort they feel, the shame they carry, and the fear they harbor are all consequences of their own actions. For you, this understanding brings a new level of empowerment. You are not defined by their mistreatment, and their shame is not a burden you must carry. Instead, you can move forward with the knowledge that your strength, resilience, and growth have had a profound impact on those who wronged you. Your presence alone is enough to remind them of the consequences of their actions, and that is a powerful thing. As you continue on your journey, remember that you are not responsible for their shame. Their internal reckoning is their own, and their inability to face you is a testament to the growth and strength you have achieved. You have risen above their mistreatment, and in doing so, you have become a beacon of resilience and power. So, the next time you sense their discomfort or notice their inability to meet your gaze, know that it's not because of anything you've done. It's because they are faced with the undeniable truth of their actions and the undeniable strength of your spirit. And that, my friend, is something truly remarkable. I hope this video has offered you a new perspective and a sense of empowerment. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement helps us create a community of growth and understanding, and by commenting below, you're contributing to a conversation that can inspire and uplift others. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and remember, your strength is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Continue to rise above, continue to grow, and know that you are not defined by the actions of others, but by the power of your own journey.